Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Recovery Snack, Saturday, February 7th. Thanks for joining. Um, Hope this finds everybody well. Let's dive right in. Still battling a little sniffles at the Means house. Coughing and sneezing a little bit, but I think we're turning the corner. Anywho, all right, February 7th, Saturday, February. AA thought for the day. A nightclub crowded with men and women all dressed up in evening clothes looks like a very festive place. Excuse me, I'm lying. I haven't got all the way up yet. Pardon me. That was the 7th again. Let's try this one more time. What day is it? Saturday the 7th. I said the 8th. It's right. I'm sorry, y'all. Remember, one and done. These are unscripted, one and done. It is what it is. I am human. That won't be the last mistake I make. Saturday, February 7th, AA thought for the day. A nightclub crowded with men and women all dressed up in the evening clothes looks like a very festive place. But you should see the restrooms of that nightclub the next morning. What a mess. People have been sick all over the place, and does it smell? The glamour of the night before is all gone, and only the stink of the morning is left. In AA, we learn to take a long view of drinking instead of a short view. We learn to think less about the pleasure of the moment and more about the consequences. Question: has the night before become less important to me and the morning after more important? Meditation for the day. Only a few more steps and then God's power shall be seen and known in your life. I am now walking in darkness, surrounded by the limitations of space and time. But even in this darkness, I can have faith and can be the light to guide feet that are afraid. I believe that God's power will break through the darkness and my prayers will pierce even to the ears of God Himself. But only a cry from the heart, a trusting cry, ever pierces the darkness and reaches to the divine ear of God. Prayer for the day. I pray that the divine power of God will help my human weakness. I pray that my prayer may reach through the darkness to the ear of God. Absolutely, it helps me to keep in mind the long view of what a drink or a drug will do to me. Because I've spoke on it a little bit before, and sorry to be repetitive, but this is my recovery and this is kind of how I do it, and maybe you'll find some value. I have to remember, I've been sober a while, so I'm not drawn to drink and drug anymore. It has not been a recent habit. It does not bother me that I can't. It doesn't bother me that I don't. I don't feel bored. I don't feel anything that I thought life was going to be without that stuff. I'm a relatively happy, optimistic, reasonably healthy guy. And I'm grateful for that. So I'm not drawn anymore, but it will pop into my head. Something's wrong with my wiring. It will pop into my head every once in a while that it's a good idea to go do something, and my brain will start to try to justify it over how good things are going and how much I deserve to go, take a break, get a pint, get a little bit of cocaine, get do a few things that I know in my soul isn't good for me, but it'll present itself in my brain as a good idea. Me taking the long view understands that that's not a good idea. It will never be a good idea, but I have to stop long enough to engage the second thought. When I teach my groups, I talk about I don't take responsibility for most of my first thoughts any longer. I don't know what's wrong with me, but some of them are just not healthy. And it's not just about drugs and alcohol. I'm a isms guy. I got the isms. And I think in a weird way sometimes, and it's definitely not healthy thoughts at points in times, and I don't know where they come from. I truly don't. It's odd. It's always bothered me a little bit why my brain would present such things as good ideas. But what I've learned during the journey is I give myself some grace. I cut myself a bit of a break, and I just understand for whatever reason that's how my brain works. So I don't own the first thoughts anymore. Okay, but I practice a pause religiously most anything that pops into my brain, I stop and think about it for a second. And then I initiate a second thought. That one is mine. I hold myself accountable to what the second thought is about. Because the first one, I don't know where they come from, but I have gotten better at identifying mostly when they are unhealthy. And I initiate second thoughts, which applies my coping mechanisms, my thought processes to it. And sometimes that's just to sit and think about it a little bit more. Let's create some more thoughts about it. If it's really bothering me, I have a group of friends I can call. I have a sponsor I can call. I utilize the tools that I've been lucky enough to be given in my recovery program. So that's just the thought. I don't understand how that works with me. I don't know why my brain does that, but I've cut myself some grace and gotten away from trying to figure out why, and just understand that it's that way. And I don't own the first thoughts. Sometimes they're really weird and out there, but the second thoughts, I hold myself accountable, because at that point I'm aware of what's going on, and I need to apply some common sense to what's happening in my brain. So I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but it does to me. Hopefully somebody understands that. And absolutely, I pray that my prayer is heard. My higher power and my God has heard me. But for me, it took desperation. It took desperation. It took me asking for things with no add-ons. It took me asking for things for base level stuff. Please, God, help. I don't have it. I'm in trouble. I can't fix this. My prayers used to be about, if I, please God, get me out of this trouble. I ain't going to do it again. Please God, let me get A, B, and C. And I think that will produce happiness and joy in me, to where my life will start to make more sense or whatever. That's not how I do it anymore. Do whatever you do. But I reach out to my higher power and I ask what it would have me have, where it would have me go, what would it have me do. Not A, B, and C. And I don't pray from a place of trouble. I pray from a place of a daily habit. And that in itself has produced a connection that I believe that I'm heard in some sense. But the blessing in recoveries these days, it's just more communication. I don't ask for much. I'm happy. I'm serene. Things are better. So anyway, hope that makes sense. Hopefully there's some value in it. If you feel drawn to do so, please like, subscribe, comment, give me some feedback. Please, please, please tell a friend if there's anybody out there trying to build the base that sees any value in these daily talks. I appreciate you joining me. Please come back and hang out with me tomorrow. Hope you do anyway. Have a blessed day. Stay safe out there and take care. Bye-bye.